Exciting times ahead for Cal Poly women's soccer as we welcome you to the home of the Mustangs, Mustang Memorial Field, looking as beautiful as ever this afternoon. And boy, there's just an extra buzz around the women's soccer program. Bernardo Silva recently named head coach, and it's a return to San Luis Obispo for him. 4 seasons as an assistant coach, had a ton of success the last couple of years in the Big West at Cal State Bakersfield, and we are so excited to have him back here in San Luis Obispo wearing some green and gold.
Well, thank you, Chris, for that awesome introduction, and super excited to be back home. This is a special place for me, my family. Truly a dream come true to return back to Cal Poly now as a head coach and succeed to Alex's tenure, which is obviously a really special tenure here. And I'm looking forward to honoring it and pushing it and elevating it to a higher level.
Why was this a dream job for you, and why was the time right now to take the job at Cal Poly?
Well, dream job because of the belief that I have in this place, the alignment that I have from a athletic and academic excellence. I think this is a place that you can win championships every year and be competing for a higher, national, regional success, and that kind of aligns with me and who I am as a person. Dream job because of this amazing community in San Luis Obispo. I got a wife and 3 little kids, and so you think about bringing your family to a place that has a community feel that you can see yourself for a long time. So it becomes a dream job for that as well. And then just the familiarity with everybody here. There's so many good people, good professionals here that I worked alongside with when I was an assistant. And so just excited to be back and working with these awesome people as well. Timing wise, I think the stars aligned, coming off of the year that we had unprecedented success at Cal State Bakersfield, and this job coming open, obviously following Coach Crozier's retirement. I just feel ready, hungrier than ever to, like I said, honor Coach Alex and everything that he's built here and push it to another level.
How much did you learn in your 4 seasons here from the great Alex Crozier, who recently stepped aside after 3 decades at the helm of this women's soccer program?
I learned a lot. He's been just a head coach that I think for all of his assistants that have come over the 3 decades, like you said, you just learn a lot from him from a life perspective, from a father perspective. I'm a father of 3 now. Back then I wasn't a father, and so he just taught me a lot as a father. From a coaching perspective, I mean, obviously when you have that type of experience and you can handle and deal with so many instances and circumstances that go on in a coach's world, you just learn a lot from just by watching him, and seeing how he does things and how he meets with people and how he interacts with players. And so he helped me prepare without a doubt for an opportunity like this here, and just a mentor and somebody that even after I left, that I've kept closely in touch with and continue to be somebody that was a big guide for me.
If you could, take us through your soccer journey from your playing days to how you got into coaching, and obviously, as you mentioned, your first head coaching gig at Cal State Bakersfield. That was not an easy situation you walked into over there, yet by your 2nd season, which in a lot of ways was your first, you had them competing for a championship.
Yeah. I mean, so I was born and raised in Portugal, and in Portugal, everybody plays soccer. If you don't play soccer, you're kind of different, so it's like soccer is the sport. It's like a religion there. So obviously grew up in that type of environment, that type of culture. Came to the United States to come play college soccer at UC Santa Barbara. Played there for 2 years, got into scouting, worked as a scout for a Major League Soccer franchise in New York Red Bulls, and through that met a lot of coaches. Landed my first coaching job after I went to England for a little bit, did a little bit of sports psychology work there, and then came back and was a volunteer here on the men's side. My wife always pushed me into coaching women. She always thought, she was a player herself. I met her at Santa Barbara, and she always thought that I would be really great at coaching women. And so when an opening took place in Coach Crozier's staff, I decided to apply for that. and then was with Coach Crozier for 4 years. Went to UC Santa Barbara for a year and a half. Then we moved up north to Sacramento State, where my wife is from, to raise our kids for a little bit there. And then it was a great place to wait for a head coaching opportunity. And when Cal State Bakersfield, came about, I think the first thing for me is I think I saw opportunity where others saw impossibility. It wasn't a successful program, a place that you've had a lot of great coaches that haven't been able to find success. I took it, and my intent obviously was I went all in on Cal State Bakersfield. I leaned really hard on the underdog side of the city of Bakersfield in general, and we built an underdog empire. They're full of players that were bought into that vision and that philosophy, that had that as their DNA. And when you have a group of women that believe in the vision and love each other the way they did, then it was just a matter of time that the success was going to come, and it came in a year and a half, which was special and obviously rare when you've added 29 new players, and it was a crazy turnaround, but an incredible journey to be a part of as a head coach there.
You're walking into a completely different situation here at Cal Poly with a lot of potential returners from this past season's team. You recently had a chance to meet with them. What was your message?
Well, first, the excitement to be working with such a talented group. I think, Coach Crozier's staff, they did a tremendous job of recruiting really good people, and just really talented individuals. And so just the excitement that I have to be in, I feel like a lot of the roster, like at least probably like 60 to 70% of them, I recruited them or tried to, coached against them, so finding a ways to stop them. So I kind of just shared that side of like, it's been hard to play against you over the last couple of years. It's been cool to connect with you through recruiting, and now to have an opportunity to coach you and be your head coach is just special. It's a completely different situation where, at Cal State Bakersfield, we labeled it the new Bakersfield when I arrived. So we didn't want to be attached to anything that was part of the old. It was the new. Here, it's not going to be the new Cal Poly. It's the Cal Poly 2.0. So it's an updated version of Cal Poly. I'm excited to bring in some of the layers that I believe were successful at Cal State Bakersfield, that I think are successful just in the context of our conference, but utilizing the foundation. There's a great foundation here, again, built by Coach Crozier and his staff, and so I'm not coming in to change that. I'm coming in to add and contribute with my experience, both as an assistant and as a head coach.
The community has been so accustomed to Alex Crozier's teams, their styles. What's going to be the biggest difference from what we've seen here the last 3 decades and those layers that you talked about that you're going to try to add to this program?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I think Coach Crozier's teams have always inspired the community. They've always, you always have all these little girls, that play soccer in San Luis Obispo, coming and looking at the players here as professional athletes, which is the coolest thing when you're part of a small community like this, is the role that you can play within your community because you're the closest thing to a professional team. And so really excited about, again, maintaining that. I think the word passion gets often associated with me and just who I am, and in all my interactions, both with players and just support staff and staff in general. I think I'm going to add a level of intensity in how we play. I like my teams to be, high pressing. I like my teams to be really fit. I'm going to lean hard on, a Mustang. I talked to the team yesterday when I first met with them about our mascot is a Mustang. Like, when you think of a Mustang, I think of fit. I think of strength. I think of a charging Mustangs, going after something. So I'm going to bring I think an intentionality into how we play, being very goal-driven, very forward-thinking. But we're gonna be a really fit team. We're gonna be a physical team, and I want people to not want to play us. I want a team that or a game that when you go and face Cal Poly, that we're gonna leave a mark. Metaphorically speaking, that they don't want to play us again, because we're going to be overwhelming, intense, relentless. I think those are words that are often associated with my style. that may be a little bit different than Coach Alex just because of his personality. So that's the plan. But again, it's to add layers to it versus, having to go down to the foundation and tear it up. It's a little bit different.
Well, Mustang Nation, if that doesn't have you fired up, I don't know what to tell you. This is Bernardo Silva, the new head women's soccer coach at Cal Poly. Appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you
so much.
and your team take this field here very soon.
Appreciate it, Chris. Thank you.